Another day, another live stream. It's always a pleasure to be here. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Appreciative to having you lot tuned in. Hope you're all doing well and safe. Hope July has started in the best possible way. If you haven't been here since it's turned into July, then obviously, people, hope you all had a great month previously. Hope this month and the rest of the year is great. Again, people, you can see the title. 1 minute is Šeško, then it's Gyökeres. Today, we're led to believe that it has been a twist where Gyökeres is concerned. Apparently, we've got a free attacker plan. We've been linked with a bunch of stuff. Tab police, as I always say, look away now because it's a Mazzolini. But yeah, smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. God bless you all in here. And big up my moderators, man. I'd love to see all of you lot here, man. Straight from watching you on YouTube to a Twitch notification. Come on, let me know what go on, broski. Appreciate you, Dolo, for being here and obviously being on YouTube, man. Big up the cross. Would it be cross-platform duns? Yeah, but big up you, man. Let's get the signings in and the season started. I don't know if I'm ready to see the season start because on one hand, I miss Arsenal. Obviously, this month, back end of this month, we begin our pre-season games. We get back where Arsenal watch-alongs are concerned. I'm sure we've got Man United, no, Spurs, Newcastle, AC Milan, or am I capping? Either way, we got some pre-season games to concern ourselves with. I don't know if I'm ready for the season. I don't know if Arsenal is ready for the season because for all the talk about Šeško and Gyökeres and this one and that one, I can only go off what I'm led to believe has happened. Kepa's obviously been announced. I think Zubamendi's done. I really need to hurry up with this tactical video. The only reason for the delay is every time I get footage, it gets copyrighted, so I have to keep starting again. But Kepa, Zubamendi, Norgard's not going to be an issue. I'm definitely missing somebody out. The Mascariute's going to roll, I think, really. That one there, probably, you know, a couple of I's need to be dotted and T's need to be crossed. But Rodrygo, I predict that to drag out. Eze, it's one of them ones where you have to wait and see because yeah, we'll go over it. But 68 million release clause, 60 million apparently the asking price. He's enticed up by signing for us. We all know he can play all across the front four. I personally believe at Arsenal, you know, you're good news, but bad news for Odegaard because you can ease the burden on Odegaard, but there's competition there. The left-hand side is automatically an upgrade on what we've got already. I don't expect to see him as a false nine, but if Mikel Arteta wants to play around and do that kind of stuff, he can play him as a false nine. And even by myself, I've mentioned 10, I've mentioned left 8 as well. You know, I don't know if Arteta will do that, but he can play left 8, play in Odegaard's role, play off the left, play as a false nine. I think one thing, including myself, we've all been victim of, you know, as they can play off the right as well. So indirectly, we've got that. And that's kind of what I mean by if we're going to sign someone, we're going to sign a versatile kind of man that probably could get more game time on the left, deputize on the right. And to be fair, to have Saka, Nwaneri in the short term playing off the right, and the luxury of Eze, and of course, Trossard, Martinelli, if need be, can go over there. If Gabriel Jesus is fit, we should be well stocked, man. But it makes a lot of sense. For me, with Eze, it just comes down to the money. Are you going to give them the money? I don't think Arsenal, whether they've got the money or not, we're not going to just pay his release clause in full. We don't operate like that. So we're going to pay a bit more and make it favorable terms. How many people are interested in Eze? I think we could sell a project to Eze. I think Eze would be enticed by returning to Arsenal. Obviously, he got released, but it comes down to the money. A bit like Rodrygo. Like, I understand being cautious about what transfer fee Rodrygo might cost and what wages he's on. And obviously, the knock-on effect if you're talking with Saliba and Saka and all these guys about new deals, and Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz are on big money. But at the end of the day, if you want to sit at the big boy table and sign the big boys, you have to spend big boy money in it, really. We hear that we can at least spend upwards of 200 million with no FFP or PSR, whatever they refer to it as now, people. So we'll have to see, man. But do I think we're ready for the season? No. There's no striker. Like, there's no striker. Listen, big up Havertz, big up Marino, big up all the other options, but there's no striker. And I hope we can get it done, man. Mascara rejected Valencia's offer too little too late in their regards, man. I'm sure he'd want to stay, but Arsenal have got into his ear. I'm happy with that signing because he can play left-sided centre-half, right-sided centre-half, can play right-back. And I know people don't want to hear it and they say Arteta this and that, but at the end of the day, Lewis Skelly's trajectory has been very good under Mikel Arteta. While we wanted to see Nwaneri play a lot more, he's probably made 20, 30 appearances or something of that ilk, which is more than he probably would have banked on this time last year. If we just, Odegaard, in terms of, you know, how he's seen in football, he's gone from being a wonder kid to a household name at Arsenal. And there's a lot of examples. But if there's one area Mikel Arteta has improved players, Saliba. You know, the loans and obviously coming in here, Saliba's gone from a potentially good player to one of the best centre-halves in the world. Gabriel Magalhaes from the start of his career at Arsenal to now, you're seeing that. Benjamin White, etc. And if you're Mascara, that's good. You know, we ran our defensive unit into the ground. We did. Let's be real. We ran it into the ground. Timber post ACL, bare minutes. Benjamin White clearly needed surgery, put his body on the line for the team, bare minutes there, not been afforded the luxury of actually resting Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel Magalhaes, and I think Saliba, but Gabriel Magalhaes, or better yet, all the hamstring injuries we've suffered at Arsenal. I'm no physio, I'm not criticising anyone, but you can't predict injuries in it, but that was probably predictable. We've probably been owed that with, you know, Martinelli, Saka, Magalhaes, I'm sure Saliba, I'm sure Declan Rice had a slight knock. So we need defensive ranks. And then even when you break it down, I love Calafiori, but you missed, I think, 100 days last season. Tomiyasu, another one I got time for, but it's last chance saloon for me with Tomiyasu because he's never here, innit? He played 6 minutes of Premier League football. I want Kivior to stay. I don't know if he wants to stay, if he wants to go somewhere and play other football. Tini's gone. You would imagine Zinchenko does go as well. So when you deep it, do we really have that much depth? Really defensively? So there needs to be a replenishment amongst all areas. I'd imagine central midfield, we're kind of sorted. Yeah, if you get Eze, he's an option there. You've got a couple players that you probably don't expect to play in our midfield three that could play there. But with Norgard, with Merino, with Declan Rice, with Zubamendi, and indirectly Odegaard, we're kind of sorted there. Left wing and up front, we've been waffling about that. And that is going to make or break our transfer window. That's going to make or break how we perform this season. I don't think you can just look at the 14 draws we had and say it's just because we couldn't score goals. It's a mixture of everything, including not scoring goals. Because the reality is, if we look at Aston Villa, remember when we went 2 goals up, right? We went 2 goals up, and obviously it is what it is, what happened. Clearly that tells you the game management, the concentration, that kind of stuff wasn't levels. And I actually think statistically we haven't dropped off a cliff, but I don't feel personally, based on the high standards we set the previous season before the one that's just gone, that we've actually defended to those standards. You can't read too much into statistics. Yeah, we're up there for clean sheets and all of those kind of things. We're also up there for goals, and we're crying about goals. And when you look at the errors leading to goals, when you look at goals conceded when we've taken the lead, these kind of things need to ease. But if we just take the Aston Villa game and let's just say, because things go wrong, let's just say we went 2 goals up, Aston Villa come back into the game. We know it's a shit show. We know we needed to do better. But if we had some clinical man, we might win that game 4-2. We got the 3 points. We bollock everybody after. Yeah, man, we need to turn those 14 draws, at least half. And then, I mean, you can't look at the defeats when you've got 14 draws on the board, but I guess you have to, innit? We need to take the good and make it great. We need to fully maximize what we can. Sometimes I wonder why I even bother with this club. They don't give a ish about me. I already have so many problems to deal with. Why I support this club. Rhinoceros, anything that's going on in your personal life, I wish you strength. And I wish there was something I could say, but all I can say is you love the club, innit? You signed up for this, and we all say that. You know, there's times across the season we're done with Arsenal. We don't really want to hear what Mikel Arteta and these players have to say, and there's times we love them, but we love this life, innit? We love it, and we've been through pain, man. One day our tears, there'll be tears of joy rather than tears of sorrow. And for me as an Arsenal fan, I'm kind of tired of the what if thing. Like for the last 3 years, when it's all said and done, you do think 2022, 23, what if we did not really the Liverpool thing, but Liverpool weren't expected based on what people were saying to win the league last year. They did it. You're wondering, you know, if Saliba never got injured, what could have been the season after that. You're wondering various games, what could have been on the last day of the season. You're wondering, you know, had we have had the summer we needed, had there have not been refereeing decisions, had we have had the depth, people staying fit, what could have happened last season? And I don't really want to do that. You could even extend that to, you know, the 180 minutes against PSG. It's now about going to the next level. A good team is about being a great team. Whatever people say, I'm not here to say Arsenal's the biggest and baddest and the bee's knees, but clearly we're a difficult team to play against. Clearly we earn that respect now. Clearly there's a lot of good stuff about us. But when it's all said and done, if football ends tomorrow, there's no history. And I feel sorry for the players. Collectively as a squad, I might be exaggerating. I don't think I am. And I can't sit here and tell you the 20 odd, is it 20 years? Must be about 20 years, 21 years since we've moved to the Emirates. I ain't got all the squads to hand, but, you know, individually, even the players you don't rate, this is probably some of the strongest individuals that we've had together and some of the strongest squads generally. There's nothing set in history. And I do think these players need to get an appetite for winning now. I actually think with Mikel Arteta, yeah, there would be question marks about you not winning a champs or the Premier League, I would say, in the last 3 years. But had we have continued where we left off when he won the first FA Cup, a League Cup, and FA Cup here and there, it eased the burden. It feels like everything is being geared at this club towards winning, other than actually Wembley, we're lifting stuff. And I think the players need that appetite. I think they deserve it. You know, I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but my opinion I will die on last season is when it's all said and done, and you smash the like button, people, when it's all said and done, let me turn off the fan because I don't know if you lot can hear it. Let me know if you lot can hear it, but it's putting me off. When it's all said and done, and you look at the Cronkies, those that make the decisions, whether it was Aito, whether it was Edu, indirectly Mikel Arteta, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Mikel Arteta. And obviously the players are the ones playing. So you have to take the responsibility, whether you win, lose, or draw. I feel sorry for the players. And I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to stop this. I genuinely feel sorry, whether I rate those players or not, that collective bunch. I feel sorry for the fans and I feel sorry for the players because I think they've been sold a dream. I think, 2022, 23, obviously we didn't expect that. The next year they're buying into it. We're going to go again. We just missed out on the Premier League. It takes us to obviously last season. You're thinking if we do X, Y, Z in the summer or X, Y, Z in January, things can happen. We didn't do that. And players have had to play with injuries. Players have rushed back from injuries. Even someone like Martin Odegaard, where it did get to that point where you needed to come out of the side. Like you needed to come out the side and say for yourself, there's no hiding place for that. We've seen young players step up. We've seen people step up, Kivio and Gabriel Magalhaes. It's light and day in it, but they've stepped up. I've seen Mikel Merino play, as romantic as it was, a centre mid playing up front against Real Madrid, the best team in clubs football. When you remove the good, the bad, what happened and what didn't happen, this isn't making sense. 9 times out, fortunately, the one time we did beat Real Madrid, but 9 times out of 10 times, if you go into those 2 legs against Real Madrid with the squad we had available and what we did, it's not going to work out. I feel sorry for the players, man. Wanyeri is more of a goal threat than Saka, if you ask me. Boy, he's going to have to show that. We can't hear the fan DG. Well, then it's going back on, mate. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. You're saying it as if we spent 60 million on him when he's an academy prospect. Who are you referring to? This guy DG does a lot for his community/family. His work game is bigger than Berta's. Nah, I can't say it's bigger than Berta's, and it definitely ain't bigger than Berta's over the summer. So you're talking to someone else. DG not taking a breath 10 minutes non-stop. Harvey, God gives us all gifts. We have to use it, innit, man? I am a fullback. Don't think the squad has been all that strong, to be honest. The defense has been strong. Midfield has been better, and the attack has been better often at the same time. I think the attack's dead, man. It's Saka and Inshallah, really. Yeah, a couple man might go through patches of form, but Saka's shouldering the burden. And I know it's a bit naive and you could add context, but the very fact that we have signed more goalies than attackers tells you everything. And that's the one area I need to see from Mikel Arteta. That's the one mixed bag. 2 people that I would throw into the attacking unit, they weren't brought in to be strikers. Merino and Kai Havertz. Martinelli was here already. Trossard, fair enough, you brought him in. It's just Saka. So, well, Saka was here already. To be fair, you've perfected his game. I need to see you do stuff. All right, cool. Defenders. I'm quite confident when the club signed defenders because I think we've got that track record. Midfield, when it's all said and done, Partey was a good player. I can't criticize the club's recruitment. Maybe his own fitness. Cool, I like that. Rice has an 8. I still think 6 is his best position by trade, but I've never been more comfortable there. I don't mind Martin Odegaard for 30 million. Bit mixed in midfield, but cool. Attack has been abysmal. Let's be real. And defense wins games, goals. Defense wins titles, goals win games, man. So it is what it is. I can't say it's Alleluia, but again, I think Arsenal will follow my tweets, to be fair, because what have I been telling, man? Follow Monaco. They've got a couple of them youths. He's good. Can play as a 10, can play out wide. He's 23. They're saying they want 70-odd million quid, which is, I don't know, but we got to get these guys, man. And to be fair, we don't know the level. He played against us as well. We don't know the level of interest because we're getting linked with everybody. And it's easy to link us with attackers. Like we've been linked with Madueke. I know people. Rodrygo, the Monaco lad. Malik Fofana of Lyon now. Actually, yesterday, Alanga. The list goes on, innit? Deluded is freezing here in Australia right now. Our country's swapped weather. Big up the Aussies. Yeah, it seems like such. But I'm sure someone from Australia was here yesterday and they said it was hot. So what's going on there? Eze would bring a different dynamic to our midfield, like 2022-23 season with Smith Rowe in midfield. Could be Miles Lewis-Skelly inverted into midfield with Zubamendi or Rice, Odegaard, Eze as a 10 all fluid. And it gives us different options, man. Because they're, Arteta, you need to have a set way of playing things, which is what we've seen already. I don't think that's going to change. But sometimes, whether it's in game, whether, you're in the December period, you might have to, Rice goes into the 6 and you've got 2 dynamic 8s or something of just any sort of combination you can think in midfield because it is quite predictable. I don't mean that in a positive way or a negative way. We have built this distinctive brand. I think we need to be a bit unpredictable now. And we actually need to improve defensively from set pieces. But yeah, Eze would bring a new dynamic. It's the Brighton draws, Bournemouth losses, and them teams like West Ham and Palace that tend to scare me. Amen. The Brighton games are frustrating because both games were marred with refereeing decisions. Both games, especially the one away at their place, we should have killed off the game. At the Emirates, I was there. We did have chances when we went down to 10 men. As cliche as it is, every game is a cup final in the Premier League in this day and age of fine margins, and we weren't in the title race. Let's be real. Of the 3 years, this was dead. And I do think Arteta needs to bring in new ideas, new players. The club needs fresh blood. And I think even the players might feel how the fans feel in that it's wait and see now mode. Like the club has to deliver and really give us something to buy into. Tomiyasu's chances are finished getting fit. Sell him and Jesus in January. To be fair, you can't turn down things. But even if that was the case, I don't think I'm selling either player in January when we're in the midst of a season. I love Tommy, man. You got 1 more year, Tommy, but boy, it's dark. Timber, White, Magalhaes, Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, all of them were played through injury. Probably Trossard too, thinking about it. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I feel sorry for the players. Feeling the goosebumps yet, DG, smash the like button. I'll feel the goosebumps when I see Eze, Rodrygo, Gyökeres, Andor, Šeško, and all these guys holding shirts saying, I grew up watching Arsenal, even if they're lying to me, etc. That's when I get goosebumps. It's enticed to hear the names that we're linked with. It's even better to have a reason to speak with you lot. But that's all it is at this moment in time. And unless somebody here knows better and Arteta and these things are happening, that's all it happens. We've got what we've got. Big up DG, big up the chat. I've been supporting Arteta, and yes, he did improve the team, but I believe he's always hanging himself. We never get the players we actually need. It's annoying now. I do think he shoots himself in the foot, and there was many a time last season, especially many a time, but I'd say Newcastle second leg in the League Cup. I'd say in the Champions League, in which you can now see this is a man that ain't experienced to a degree. Like he's still no excuses, but he's learning on the job, because I do feel there's things Arteta has to arrest and evolve. I do think he adapted last season by default because you had to, because people were injured. But I didn't learn anything about Mikel Arteta or Arsenal last season. Obviously, we've seen young players emerge, but you know, somebody mentioned it, 2022-23 season, the football's exciting, it's blistering. That was the first year we're seeing this inverted fullback stuff, a new role for Granit Xhaka. We're seeing different things. The next year, we started to show we can stink out the place, low blocks, mid blocks, all of those kind of things. Last year, I don't think set pieces as well. Last year, I don't think there's anything I learned. Maybe if I had a conversation with Arteta and all of those things, yeah, but I don't think there's something evident. So, yeah, we need to change things. Do managers really get credit for loaning players out? Someone else is doing the development work and risking results by playing that player. Yeah, because he's gone out on loan. Whatever the way I look at it, whatever you've done with William Saliba, whether it's the loans, blooding him in, what you're doing on the transfer front, it's worked. We do get credit for that. 100%. As long as they come back and do their thing. I never want to hear Šeško's name associated with Arsenal again. Gyökeres and Eze only get it done. The Arsenal board will get out of the club for a bit of an ultimatum. DG already has a song for Eze. Take it easy like Sunday. Well, look at this guy. Like, look at this guy. Always busting jokes in there, innit? Class clown. Kepa, Norgard, Zubimendi, Mascara, 90% done. Gyökeres or Šeško guaranteed. Eze is 60%. Is it 60%? But I'm really confident because of him wanting to join and the release clause paid in installments. Sounds like Arsenal's cup of tea. It's true, but how are you going to structure them installments? What if they say they want 3 payments within the next 18 months of 60 million? What if Arsenal is saying we can give you 10 here, 5 here? I'm exaggerating and it's not making sense, but 2 here, 5 here, etc. It's not making sense. From Palace, I want my bread. I know you want this guy. We've got our own things to do. Bearing in mind, we're probably going to lose Gurhi as well. We need a bigger squad as well because we're in Europe. We want to probably kick on. Pay me my bread. Look at this guy. Boys, we don't make jokes about those things, man. I don't know what you're on about, you madman. So sourced from Canada Day, Sellies. What's good to wake up to DG content? Big up yourself. Forgive me for my ignorance, but what's Canada Day? I missed the watch-alongs and all the bands. Soon back, my guy. Man said DG soon to be sitting in skins. Look at this guy, blood. Mikey, big up Boogie Bandit. What a name. Some of you got some funny names on this. Guaranteed Šeško or Gyökeres. I'm confident on the Eze signing. Eze, well, you know what? Out of all the guys we're linked with, I'm the most pessimistic on Rodrygo. Like, I'm on this. You might as well just get Eze confirmed, Šeško or Gyökeres confirmed and everything else. If you can get Rodrygo, great. But, you know, we hear that we want Eze regardless of what we're trying to do on the left and up front. So there must be a next name because Rodrygo can't be the only one. Cool, you Chad for Nico Williams. He's going Barcelona. Rodrygo, you're relying on a lot of dominoes to fall. And it's probably one that we're going to see some sort of clarification, I should say, on his future, at least when the Club World Cup's done. So, yeah, by all means, keep your eyes and ears open. But there must be some other targets, whether those are household names, emerging stars, etc. And if you get Eze, I'm more open to maybe not a very raw 17, 18-year-old winger, but someone that might be in their early to mid-20s. They're not quite there yet. They can chip in. if you get where I'm going with it. The Arsenal perspective. Ain't seen you in a minute. Pick up yourself, man. Pick up yourself. Pick up yourself. Bring Glock 9, man. He's broken up with his missus, man. Look up, boy, making dead jokes. Waste, man. like, you know what? I'm gonna allow you. Eze is by far the most exciting signing. Wait, hang about, boy. Don't ever, boy. You know, I don't want to talk to you tough. Me, one thing, the two things about me in this life, yeah. Three things. I'll always be consistent. I'm a very good looking man. Yeah, because I definitely got, boy, and I won't struggle with that. I am not Edu. I'll get things signed. Look at you, chat. Rise up your face, because you're criticizing what I'm wearing. Rise up your face. You got a treat. Dead. Man, I tell you, saying they're playing American football in primary school and whatnot. Dead. You don't get girls in my lap, boy. One day I might add spice to the chat so it's where heated. Shout out, man. It's all love, though. Smash the like button, as Nathan has said. Bro, some of the chat is fun, man. Bare jokers, though. Bare class clowns. Bare you lot, innit? Just shout out, mate. Just shout out. I'm excited about Eze signing because we can play both Eze and Odegaard against low blocks and mid blocks. We can be a bit unpredictable midfield. No excuses next season. Facts. And for me, regardless of if we had that dream summer where you get, you know, Gyökeres or Šeško, whoever you want, Eze comes in, Rodrygo, Zubamendi's there, and all the others. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what, but I think signing's only half the job. Arteta's got to do bare things on the training ground. Because when you put these players in and we're still not moving the ball quick enough, or we're quite scripted and we're not breaking down low blocks, what then? Because there has been times under Mikel Arteta, like excluding the last 3 years, I would say defensively, actually, like, you know, when like Mustafi and them kind of players were playing, you could see what he was trying to do. The players were just not good enough. I can't necessarily see in an attacking sense that we're trying to win games on fine margins. We know we'll create, for example, 2 chances. We hope that we can score those 2 chances, which, of course, is not sustainable over a 38-game period. For the players we've got at this moment in time up front, regardless what you have to say about them, just parking off the signings, sorry for hitting the mic, the signings that could come in. I personally think there's a lot more to give in an attacking sense. Like, I can criticize Martinelli, Trossard, all of them guys, but they're not bad players. But yeah, I personally don't think we get Rodrygo and Eze. Although I didn't think we get Alexis Sanchez, I didn't think we get Rice, didn't think we get Bamian. There's definitely somebody else missing out. Mesut Ozil. Maybe I'm a positive omen. DG, including the potential new signings, I'm thinking about an 11 without our first signing. I mean, it's that time of the year, man. Of all the strikers you've seen, is Isaac in the top 10, 20? Of all time, in my 30 years, no. Not of all time. You know what? Maybe nostalgia. Not of all time, but definitely, I would say, well, what's a time period? I don't know for a time period, but in the modern day, 100%. We all know there's no Gyökeres shouts. There's no Gyökeres or Šeško shouts, sorry, if we could get Isaac. But that one's a myth. Quality player, man. Isaac's a bad boy. Pardon me. Sorry, DG. Harvey thinks Saka isn't world class. Thinks Wanjeri needs to improve majorly. He's 18. The man thinks he needs to majorly improve in his attitude. What attitude has he seen from him? Harvey, you're bugging. He's a kind of thing. Where's the attitude shouts? Because all Wanjeri looks like is a shy, humble, introverted lad. I've got a nasty feeling that after we get one of Šeško or Gyökeres, Liverpool move for Isaac and we'll watch him go there with zero competition from anyone else. If he goes there, it is where it is, man. Like, it really is what it is. Fans are frustrated with the order we're getting the signings done. I don't care what order we do, as long as we get it done. Agents and media circus are always going to run and push their madness. Facts. For me, as long as the season starts and I see a striker, I see a left winger, cool. The only one out of all the guys and all the other stuff, the only one I would say, all right, cool, that one can kind of drag is Rodrygo. But at some point, you're going to have to pivot. We're going to have to see. If we bid for Rodrygo and it's accepted, is he allowed to leave Madrid's camp while at the Club World Cup? Yep. But that ain't happening at this moment in time, man. Can confirm it's freezing down under. What is going on in Australia? How about Bakayoko from PSV? It's too raw. I like him. He's very raw, though, man. He's very raw, very hit and miss. Like him, though. He terrorized Kivio. Was it last season? No, it wasn't last season. Season before that. Creating goals is a different task to scoring the goal yourself. Wanjeri is a greater goal threat. His play securing the goal is not reliant on Havetz or Martinelli doing something. Neither is Saka. Saka's played with a bunch of guys. Boy's always trying to be edgy, bro. Madueke's coming. Saka is creative. Boy always talks like his opinion's gospel, innit? It's winter in Australia. Winter. It's July, though. Fucking hell. Pardon my French. No one in Arsenal is world class yet. I hear you, because I think the world class shout is thrown around too much. But I don't think anyone could potentially tell me in the modern day, Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba are not world class. Bukayo Saka, and you know who Declan Rice. Declan twice. It's not Rice anymore. Declan twice. If anyone gets world class shouts, it's them. It's winter in the southern hemisphere. This winter, cold boy. It's upside down in Australia, DG. It's winter in South Africa too. You learn something new every day. What is that about? Like the equator and that. Crazy. DG, I told you, fam, it's an easy stereotype to throw out there. When has Ranieri shown a bad attitude? Do you know what the craziest thing I've seen? Yeah, like, and I hate that. You know, like social media is very extreme. It's got nothing to do with Arsenal, actually. Kobe Mainoo must have uploaded a picture. He's coming out of a car. I don't even know what car it is. Nice car, innit? What cars footballers can buy. It's literally a picture of him stepping out the car, and you can see a bunch of people. He's got a bad attitude. He's being one of them hood boys. Huh? But this is how it starts. This is how it starts. Early season, John Duran was Isaac's equal, but we missed out on that. I don't think John Duran's a bad boy, but he can't talk to Isaac at anything, bro. He can't talk to Isaac at anything. DG looks like he eats sand. You know what? I had to look at the moderator who said that because I was going to get very disrespectful. I'll let it fly. You lot are funny, innit? Make sure you're hitting the damn like button. Neeks. DG, would you make an offer now for Isaac? No, unless Isaac's camp, unless a little birdie tells us that Isaac's available, or if you try, you might be able to get him, or Isaac's on this, and we're really going to commit to it, then no, I don't think he's available. I think Newcastle are not going to sell him. Maybe next year, because I think Barca will probably go for him and whatnot, and he might want to go. It's a myth. Forget that. Maybe with Jason Ito allegedly going to Newcastle, you never know. Bare funny dickheads, bro. Smash the like button. You lot funny, innit? You lot funny, innit? But if I lock off the stream, what happens? You lot funny, innit? Bare funny. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Oh, man said eat sand. Where'd you get that from? What does that even mean? Your boy in it. Your boy in it. Saka is world class. What do you mean? People deluded. I'm back. Sub up like you peasants before you run up the pockets. DG, a balance of probability. If you were to give a percentage, oh, right, we're going to have to do maths. If you were to give a percentage, how likely do you think we get Eze left wing and a striker? It's techie, man. It's techie, man. We've almost got 100 likes. We get to 100 likes, we get into the transfer business, people. Oh. Left winger and a striker. I'm not gonna get hung up on if it's two world-class players or a development guy and all of that stuff. I think it's 100% likely. And I'm gonna put my neck on the line in it. I don't know Berta. I don't know Arteta. I'm gonna say it's 100% likely we get a left wing and a striker. Now, 3 attackers, Eze as well. It depends, because I don't see us getting Gyökeres, Rodrygo, and Isaac, or them kind of ones. It depends, but 3 attackers, because you could go bargain hunting. You know who we're linked with at Chelsea, innit? 3 attackers. I think it's 100% likely we get a striker in the left winger. Cool. 3 attackers, 40% for me. If I'm honest, I'd be amazed. I hope so. Berta, do your thing. I'm having 3 attackers. To be fair, Ornstein did say we're looking at such. I'd have to wait and see for that one, man. I really would have to wait and see. Yeah, 40%, man. Trust me. All the comedians in the chat and the audience watching the show, hit the likes, please, people. It's crazy how we still don't have a clue who we're going to end up with up top next season. I think we do. On paper right now, Mr. Havetz, isn't it? That's a flame. 18 is not young. I think that's young in terms of football standards and definitely where life's concerned. You're a young man. I don't know about other countries. I know in America, if you 21's where they call you an adult, it's 18 here. You can do whatever you want when you turn 18, innit? But you're not really an adult, are you? Really and truly. In fact, I actually think you become an adult, but I would say I'll class someone as an adult like 25, if I'm honest with you. And that goes for men and women. Big up the women out there. But you know how women like to go, oh, women mature faster. Women are so much maturer than guys. Yeah, right. No, you ain't. Women always got a sixth sense and intuition, apart from the boyfriend that they picked. He's a piece of shit. But anyways, we love the galley anyways, man. I don't know why we went off on a stray. Sorry, people. I'm just making a timestamp. Chat, questions, and a few idiots running bands. But yeah, man, I'm sure we're at 100 likes now. In fact, when it gets to minute 31, just because it ties in better with what we're doing. You're a funny guy. Right, you're a funny guy, yeah? Cool. I don't know about that. We're all inclusive here. Aren't you feeling the goosebumps yet? Not really, man. Damn, DG, tell us what's really going on. Tell me what's really going on. You know, it is so, yeah, you're moving mad. I'm not even reading that, K. You're using crazy words that cannot be pronounced. Allow me. That's not the mentality of winners. Still making excuses on when Yeri being 18. That's not the mentality of winners. No, he's just literally 18. He's ready, but he's 18, bro. What are you talking about? Don't do us like that, DG. And DG, my auntie said, been a long time he don't flex his muscles. I think she's got a soft spot for you. Aye, come on, man. Big up auntie, but come on, man. How old is she though? What she like? No, I'm joking. Do you think any of the promoted clubs can stay up, DG? I want Leeds to stay up, but I think it's darkness, man. I think the championship teams, you're in that weird spot now where you kind of need a Premier League team in the championship because, again, them lot down the road, Manchester United, West Ham, a couple of teams could have probably got drawn out into a relegation race if, you know, there wasn't a golfing class. Like, I just think the 3 teams that got relegated, they were dead. DG loves aunties. But hey, listen, we got love for the older women, boy. Like, boy, not too old, but yeah. Yeah, I always get older girls. Allegedly, no, I don't. I just sit here making content with you, lot. I definitely don't. What's going on there, man? He'll be all right. No, I did it. No, is she Leng though? Right? Have a picture. What? How old is your auntie? Like, she might be Leng. Hi, auntie. No, I'm joking. I can't do it like that. It's all bants, man. I direct that at boy. But yeah, have we got 100 likes? We got 100 likes? Getting big up you lot, man. A promise is a promise. Tab police, look away. Keep your thoughts and everything coming. But let's see what is in the papers and the tabloids and the rumors. Big up Igal, because yeah, definitely big up Igal as well. Shout out Aaron, yeah. But like, I was watching Aaron's video. There was a twat on his channel getting a bit personal with Igal. I like the way Aaron kind of shut that down. And yeah, man. Anyways, but yeah, big up Aaron, big up Igal. I think he's summed it up perfectly. This is the merry-go-round. 1 minute Šeško, and we're giving up on Gyökeres. Then it's Gyökeres. Then it's Šeško. Then it's Šeško. Then it's Gyökeres. Every now and again, oh, we're on to Hugo Ekitike. Now it's Ollie Watkins, and so on and so forth. And I have to, you know, credit where due. Every ITK apart from Hand of Arsenal, because I think he's actually one of the real ones. You know, Hand of Arsenal, Ornstein, they're doing what needs to be done. But every ITK, every journalist, credit where due. In this off-season, you lot have ran up a check. Better engagement. Like, you lot have linked us with anyone. There's no way of fact finding this. You just have to, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, moving on. You would have seen yesterday, Arsenal are in advanced talks with Sporting regarding Viktor Gyökeres, and the club feel they are within touching distance of the finish line. Gyökeres has apparently already agreed a 5-year contract, which is good at 27 years of age. 5-year deal. I don't know how much he's on, but respectfully to him, it's not pennies to me, but respectfully to him and Sporting, you'd imagine he's on pennies. So yeah, that could be that. But then again, I don't think that is not right. I don't think that is inaccurate in the sense that I genuinely think personal terms have probably been agreed with Gyökeres. I think Sporting and Gyökeres' agent, they're not seeing eye to eye, and that's cop blocking him moving to Arsenal, Juventus, Man United, whoever the hell is linked with him, people. The Sports Witness said the big Viktor Gyökeres news in Portugal today is his breakup. Victor doesn't want anything tying him to Portugal because he's already decided he won't continue at Sporting. He spoke to Ines, explained what he felt, then he fled to Mykonos. Right, he might be he might score more goals off the field. But yeah, we've seen everything with him. Yesterday, you would have seen, you know, apparently he's got a clause of 60 million euros, which is now active. As of Tuesday, if Arsenal or any other club make a bid of this value and Sporting refuse, they will have to compensate the agent with 10% of the value. The Lions have warned that if this happens, they will demand 100 million euros, which obviously would have a knock-on effect, because if the agent gets bumped, he's going to probably try and get more money off his client and more in terms of commission. Sporting the same, and you get where I'm going with that. I don't really buy that, because if that was the gentleman's agreement of, we see rumors of 60 million plus 10 million, they want 80 million. But if that is not in cold-hearted writing, if it's not in writing that July the 1st, people can buy you for 60 odd million pounds, it's in writing. And it's also in writing that if the bid is made and Sporting don't accept, we owe you 10%. It doesn't mean anything. Of course, they can go to war if it was a gentleman's agreement. Like, yeah, you said you would do this and not. But if it's not in the contract, which the only thing I'm led to believe is in this man's contract is a release clause of 100 million, it sounds good. And big up the Portuguese press, but it don't really make sense. It could be true, but it don't really make sense. L'Equipe out of France. Now, football is international, but L'Equipe reporting on a Swedish striker playing in Portugal about what an English club is doing, I don't know. I always try and look for, I'd more believe it if reports came out of Sweden, his homeland, or out of Portugal or Arsenal. I always try and look for the primary source. Again, football's universal. Rumors can come from anywhere, but I'm not too sure. To be fair, I haven't seen too many Arsenal-led reports with L'Equipe and what we're doing. But Andrea Berta hopes to finalise the signing of Gyökeres. The player wants to join Arsenal and is now close to agreeing personal terms with the club. Sporting have so far been uncompromising, but Berta hopes to settle on a fee slightly lower than his 70 million euros. Sources close to Arsenal's deal for Šeško have informed Court Offside that the parties involved may be nearing a compromise on a fee in the region of 75 million euros. So it swings and roundabouts. Romano is saying there have not been any changes over the deal for Gyökeres tonight. Sporting's asking price needs to be classified before a deal can be closed. So if Romano is saying that and we take that, doesn't that mean that whether United want him, Juventus want him, Arsenal want him, they're probably talking with his people, okay, how long in terms of a contract do you want? What's the bonuses? What's the framework going to look like for a deal? Do you actually want to join? Maybe that's not a problem, but then they're probably saying to the agent, how much do you think Sporting want? And then obviously probably moving a bit indifferent. So official communications could be delayed in that regards, people. Apparently Team News and Ticks on Šeško has said, and maybe this is why the Gyökeres rumours have kind of gone back up again. Arsenal are really struggling to agree a deal with Leipzig over Benjamin Šeško. And while the club are still trying to complete a deal, there's currently no headway being made. Why is that the case? Is it Leipzig or is it Šeško? Because one, Hand of Arsenal said, all these things you hear about release clause and crazy wages and all of that, it's wide of the mark. Maybe this is the media just getting onto it. But you do also have heard those rumours. And I can't lie, if I'm Šeško at 22, I'm moving to the Premier League. I'm moving to, same with Gyökeres, but I'm moving to the Premier League, moving to Arsenal. I want to get peace. The release clause, you can forget about that if that's true. If, we talk about resale value. If you come here 3-4 years and we win everything there is to offer and you really play to the level of what they were led to believe that you could be the greatest striker in the world, and by that principle, Europe's elite, Real Madrid, etc., start going for you, it's natural, innit? I've seen Thierry Henry go Barcelona because he couldn't do what he needed to do at Arsenal in terms of winning the Champions League. No worries with that. But you're going mad if you think there's a release clause. We're not a little man. We're not the biggest club in the world, but we're not a little man club like that. Gyökeres has left his missus, who previously said she hopes to keep him in Portugal. He's a savage, man. Oh, there's bear gal in London, man. Saka can help you out, man. There's bear Brownings in that, but apparently he left his girlfriend, his missus, so he's free to start a new life. Apparently he's agreed a 5-year deal at Arsenal. That's according to Nicolas Shearer. So yeah, until 2030. I don't know whether I don't know what to believe, if I'm honest with. If I'm completely honest with you guys, I don't know what to believe anymore, man. It's just talking points. It's all just nonsense, if I'm honest. Now, have we missed anything? No, we haven't. Eze, are we having him, folks? Do you want Eze? Do you not? Are we having Eze? Oh, one love for the super chat, my boy. Big up T. You're always here. Big up DG. Are the reports true? You're in favor of Dominic Calvert-Lewin to the carpet. Are these allegations true? Anyways, I don't know. Big up yourself for the super chat. Why are you lot just are you lot not religious, whether you're Muslim, Christian, whatever religion? Why are you lot making up lies here? What's going on? If that was said, that's literally AI. You've not heard me say that, but funny guy, man. There's bare jokers today, isn't it? Yeah, I know there were so many clowns here, but Arsenal in advanced discussions with Crystal Palace's Eze. According to an exclusive report, L'Equipe, Arsenal are drawing closer to securing Eze 27 from Crystal Palace. The French outlet writes that contact with the player to convince him to travel across the capital are advanced. Calm down, man. You ain't seen him in an Arsenal shirt. Relax. However, the winger has a 79 million euros release clause, which is about 68 million quid. Palace are unlikely to do Arsenal any favours and lower their valuation for the player coming off a career best season. I mean, he won the FA Cup. He's in the England squad. Statistically, he's got great numbers as well. I don't think Palace are wrong for that. Get your bread. Get your bread. And for Arsenal, let's get this done. I trust you. I ain't never had a conversation with you. If it wasn't football, I wouldn't trust a stranger, but I trust you. I do trust you. I know I'm going to be happy about this transfer window in some way, shape, or form, man. So, yeah, I don't blame Palace. Play hardball because they need to reinvest. They face the prospect, at least in the next year or 18 months, Eze's cutting. Maybe not now because I can't assume you're coming to Arsenal, but Eze's going to cut. Eze's going to cut. He's probably gone this summer. Mateta, I don't know, but he's someone that is drawing admirers in a day and age where the striker market's dead. maybe in you never know, but maybe in 2 years' time, they're not going to hold on to Wharton and things of that ilk. Big up yourself, Raz. Big up Dave. Had to make you a mod. You know, I've never met someone who's called Dave that is a dickhead, you know. So big up yourself. I don't think we're going to get both. I know you lot don't want to hear this, but they've also been linked with Chelsea's Noni Madueke, albeit the French outlet writes that the amount being discussed has not yet been disclosed. The winger has a contract lasting until 2030 with Chelsea. Arsenal are looking to restock their attack and push for the title following a third consecutive season where the club finished runners-up in the Premier League. I feel like there's a jab to the heart every time I read sentences like that. David Ornstein did say yesterday, we're looking to do a deal for Eze at a lower price than his release clause, which I know people will say, oh, look at his release clause, just pay it. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's how man move. Any player you've seen sign for every club, this is business. Naturally, you don't want to pay the asking price. Of course, there's some exceptions to the rule. But I will say this, there's going to come a point you can try barter it down, try put the deal how you want to put it down. At some point, Crystal Palace are going to put their foot down. You either pay his release clause, or if you want to pay in installments, we need it in XYZ, not in this. Are you going to pay it? Pay it, pivot, or F off. Simple. It's unclear whether a sale would need to happen first to facilitate a move, but this would be separate to their pursuit of a striker and left winger, which is probably the best, beyond the obvious and me wanting Eze, probably the thing that interests me the most. That tells me we want 3 attackers. And we have seen reports that have said we're not really looking to sell to buy. Everyone's got a price. You know, there are rumors saying we need to sell to buy to finance certain things. There's also rumors saying that, you know, Martinelli's going to be given a new deal. You know, Arteta spoke about goosebumps and all of these kind of things. So if I assume, you know, there's other targets, but if I assumed we're going to buy Norgard for, well, if anything happens with Partey, we're going to buy Norgard for the 10 million plus 2 million add-ons that's being said, the 5 million for Kepa, the 50 odd million for Zubimendi. You know, a striker is going to set you back as low as 60 million, potentially as high as 100, give or take, loosely around that. You know, Rodrygo setting you back stuff. This tells me that we was planning to do these kind of things regardless. There is obviously a need to sell. Partey's wages are gone. We didn't sell him, yes, but his wages are off. Tini's wages are off. Jorginho's wages are off. You'd imagine Zinchenko and Reece Nelson are gone. See what we can do with Fabio Vieira and Lokonga. And to be honest, all the forgotten men. You can cry until you're blue in the face, people, about getting rid of Jesus and Kai Havertz. But for a variety of reasons, that's not happening in what's left of this preseason, isn't it? So it is where it is. Romano has said we're working on the deal for Eze. The player is keen on the move. He's excited by the project at the club. Arsenal have now started talks on the conditions of a deal with both Palace and Eze's reps. Get it done, man. Come home, my brother. Shouldn't have really. How we had, and football's a funny game. And if you stayed at our academy, you might not have been this Eze as good as you are. Sometimes life just works like that. But we had Eze, Harry Kane, and Andy Cole at some point. I don't know how it worked out, but it's cool, man. Eze, come home, man. Come home. Bring some other Palace dons with you. Bring Elise as well, man. I know you don't want to be in Germany anymore, man. I'm dreaming. But yeah, Team News and Tix has said Eze is part of a free attacker plan at Arsenal this summer, and the club are in the driving seat to sign him at the moment. Being in the driver's seat, I'm not an F1 fan, but I've seen people overtaking on the circuit in it, so anything can happen. I've seen Man United announce Aaron Ramsey's deal. Did Aaron Ramsey ever kick a ball for them? To be fair, I heard he's going to Mexico, people. Arsenal prepared to sign Rodrygo, Eze, and the striker, but are waiting for Rodrygo to say he wants to leave Real Madrid. How long are we going to wait, man? Arsenal had advanced. So every journalist is adding these things. Arsenal had advanced on Eze in recent hours, and talks are well advanced with the player and his reps. All that is missing is the decision on whether Arsenal will activate his clause, his release clause, better yet, or not. The talks with Eze are concrete. He's excited by the project. We started talking to understand the conditions of the deal with Palace, says Romano. So some level of official club-to-club communications has happened. Come on, Palace, allow us, man. We gave you some good players. I'm so upset we sold Eddie Nketiah, Rob Holding, Matt Turner. These are generational talents, man. Like, I think we would have won the league if we kept them. We might have to sack Arteta. We've got some very good players here. I would really be upset if you bought Fabio Vieira or Zinchenko off us. I don't know what I'd do. I'd cry, Crystal Palace, man. Ian Wright, chat to your club, man. Let's get it done. As of now, no direct contact between Arsenal and Palace for Eze. Player has a 68 million release clause, but it is felt a deal could be done for around 60 million. That is what the Beautiful Game podcast is saying, and big them up. They're doing great stuff. Can't wait till they bring some new videos out. But that does directly conflict kind of what we read. 1 minute official conversations, then not. I'm going to believe them, to be fair. Arsenal value Eze below his 68 million release clause. There's been no bid to date, but Arsenal's interest is serious and advancing. Eze is understood to be keen on the move to Arsenal. Arteta has spoken to Rice about Eze. The Arsenal midfielder gave a glowing endorsement of his international teammate. While Tottenham maintained their interest, Eze is understood to prefer a move to Arsenal, the club he supported growing up. Let's go, man. Let's go. If we get Madueke, we have another Havertz. Madueke will be Havertz 2.0. We'll end up Garnacho, Jackson, Madueke by the end of this window. If that's the case, Arteta, make sure you win something, you know. If that's what you're going to do, make sure. Man said he thought Zubimendi would be announced. You got jokes, fam. Bro, that's because many people, including me, are under 18, so this is sus. Eze is the kind of player we're desperate for. Gets bums off seats, man. I'm not going to lie, yeah. Imagine in certain games, Odegaard, Eze, and Saka. Imagine pulling out to the challenge. You got Rice making those third man runs, you know, Miles Lewis Skelly doing his thing, Timber about. It could be lit, man. Big up Kudus. Who's that? He's not good, especially if he signs for Spurs. Rodrygo going to cost the most easily. If you want to hang out the big boy table, you got to pay the P's, man. Number-wise, if we sign all three, I think we could slide Trossard. I'm selling Trossard before Martinelli, man. DG, your mods on a mad thing. I sure know how to pick a minute. From party time to Nordgaard VPN. Boy, watch VPN, boy. Don't sleep on Nordgaard. I'm not expecting fireworks from him, but I think, obviously, it's not inspiring. But I think people are moving like he's shit. He's not shit. We're definitely going to have to look for a centre mid in the next year or two. The only thing I would say with Nordgaard is I don't think you're a bad player. I can see why you're being a squad player. In terms of what you offer a midfield, I don't think you're anywhere near Jorginho, but you're going to be fit a lot more than him. You're going to be a squad player. You can help us in that. We have lost some experience. You're providing that. Is it a game changer, blockbuster? 100% not. The only thing I would give the club credit for is the speed in which you've signed Nordgaard. Do I think Zubimendi and Partey sounds a lot better than Nordgaard and Zubimendi? 1,000,000%. I know Nordgaard is Premier League proven, and I've just said that, but we've seen players move from one Premier League club to the other, and they've not kind of hit the ground running. So there's a lot, and obviously Zubimendi, I actually think he's a game changer for us, but he's gonna have to hit the ground running, and he does also need to be allowed to adjust to things, which I hope it works, man. I hope it works. Arsenal's interest in Eze stems from his ability to play both as an attacking midfielder and out wide, but is not in place of other left-wing targets. Arsenal's interest in left-sided attackers Rodrygo, Gordon and Nico Williams is well established. These deals would come at considerable cost and might require the departure of one of the club's existing wide options to balance the books. Arsenal also monitoring the addition of a more versatile attacking player such as Noni Madueke, I don't know who that is, Eze or Morgan Rogers. Arsenal are being kept informed on a number of players to afford them flexibility in their planning, which I do think the Athletic and Gunner blog, they have this way of formulating sentences to make out that Arsenal are the only club that moves like this, not to take anything away from Arsenal. Am I wrong for saying that is how a competent football club should be moving? You should be able to pivot. We haven't always been able to do that. So yeah, apparently in recent hours, we've made efforts to sign Eze. Apparently we've also made an unspecified offer to Chelsea for Madueke. There's also reports that go against that. So yeah, again, we've made an offer. I hope not. From what I am being told from people close to the situation, once Real Madrid get back from the Club World Cup, Rodrygo is going to make it clear that he wants to leave. I think Rodrygo is quickly emerging as Arsenal's dream target. I think everything points towards Rodrygo leaving, and my belief is that Arsenal will be towards the top of his desired place to go. Arsenal know what kind of fee it will take to sign Rodrygo, around 75 million. They know about his wages, and that hasn't scared them off one bit. 75 million, not the worst. Valencia have offered Mascara a contract renewal, but given the timing of the proposal and the sporting ambitions of the other club trying to sign him, Arsenal, it is virtually impossible for the player to stay. Come on, man. Come. Forget that now. Valencia, the weather in Spain isn't as good as North London. Arteta, you need to let me join the recruitment staff, man, because we need to start lying to people. I should have lied to Šeško last season. Of course, bro. No, you're going to play ahead of Kai. Once you're signed, who cares? Arsenal took advantage of talks with Viktor Gyökeres' agent, Hassan Sentikaya, to discuss another one of his clients, Magnus Alusha. I want him, bring him. I've spoken about him before. The player features predominantly on Arsenal's list of potential wingers. However, AS Monaco are demanding 70 million. Probably only move for him. No, in fact, because he's another versatile man like Eze. Not as versatile as Eze, but he can play all about the place. If he's seen as a genuine left winger and Eze seen as a versatile one in the striker, it could come in. But what I was about to say is, I think we only grab this shoe if we don't get Eze, you know. because they're not the same player, but you get what I'm saying. They're not the same profile, but they kind of are. Declan Rice gave a glowing report of Eze. I'm loving the Eze stuff. Tommy Setford needs to go on loan. Stevenage, good move for him. Needs to be playing grown man's football. Just go and sign a 35-year-old journeyman's goalkeeper just to be our third choice. Martinelli is seen as an option for Al Nassr if they can't land Diaz. Arsenal are not actively looking to sell and have started exploratory contract extension talks. Nassr believe a big offer could change their mind. Of course, you bring 70 million, you should never be buying Martinelli for 70 million. But Saudi, you got big P's. They expect clarity from Diaz first. I don't think Martinelli's going to do it. But again, that's what I mean. So if we're talking about giving Martinelli a new deal, whether we should or not, and all them other signings we're looking to do, and this is all assuming we're not going to bring in other ones, do we really need to sell to buy? I don't know. Norgard is expected to undergo a medical at Arsenal this week and get the ball rolling. Arsenal are not looking to sell. Martinelli, says CBS. He wouldn't consider a move to Saudi Pro League at this moment in his career. Bayern Munich is seen as admirers as well. Once again, where Madueke is concerned, the club have been speaking to his reps the past few weeks. The club hold genuine interest in Noni. Talks are not advanced on personal terms. No proposal made to the player either as of today. Chelsea club officials have denied any bid being made. On the player side, he's expressed interest in our project, but has reservations about competing with Saka. You can't compete with Saka. How much man failed? They compared him to Foden and Palmer and this one. And, someone was even in my mentions yesterday telling me Jadon Sancho in 2025 is better than Saka. Man, shut the fuck up. But anyways, pardon me for my French. You ain't got a chance. On a serious note, I don't want Madueke. I don't think it's inspiring. But I don't think he's a terrible player. And I wouldn't cry. But I don't think it sends out the right signals. And you're going to be primarily playing off the right, which you're not going to get an opportunity for Saka. You can play off the left, but that's not going to happen. Newcastle want you to go over there. The player is not keen on playing left wing either. In truth, the interest is genuine, but as of today, as you were. So unless it's another season like last year where we're scrambling, I don't know. Rodrygo's only played 23 minutes in the last 3 games for Real Madrid. Sources close to Rodrygo are upset with his lack of involvement at the Club World Cup. The arrival of Franco Mostantano could lead to Rodrygo's role being reduced in the coming months. It's worth keeping a close eye on his situation, says reports people. Not sure what that was supposed to be. Atletico Madrid see Madueke as a market opportunity. Yeah, bro, that's a market opportunity for them, man. Things could be handled better. Acceptance door left open for Arsenal to sign player. Mosquera's plan this year had been to extend his contract at Valencia, and then Arsenal stepped up their efforts to sign him in recent days. His deal expires in 2026. The La Liga side assured him months ago that a renewal offer was on the way. He didn't actually receive an offer until Monday, after they rejected an Arsenal bid. This is why he don't lack. 2 days ago, it was reported Arsenal expected to make an improved bid for the 21-year-old. Valencia's attempts to tie him down to a new contract while Arsenal are trying to sign him. The Spanish club have made a written renewal offer until 2028 with improved salary, but it won't make him one of the club's highest earners. Well, regardless of his salary proposed at Valencia, you'd imagine he'd be on something more healthy at Arsenal and in London. The latter part contradicts claims on Thursday. Mosquera holds the upper hand when deciding his next steps. According to Levante EMV, he should respond to Valencia's renewal offer soon. But I would say with a World Cup next year, based on game time, are you more likely to get called up to the Spanish national team playing week in, week out for Valencia or being a squad player here? I want an effing MILF. Boy, take a touch, man. Take a touch, man. Take a touch. These are the youths that try to clown me. See? Acting like I've never seen Gal before. But anyways, if he were to reject it, the interested... Well, to be fair, moving to Arsenal could accelerate your plans. If he were to reject it, the interested club needs to meet Valencia's asking price. Arsenal are seeing their €50 million budget bid get rejected and are willing to offer 20 to 25 million euros, including bonuses. He's expressed his desire to continue at Valencia as long as their project is competitive and the salary is in line with his performances. So it does raise in question what is going to happen in that regard. Sky Germany did say that Madueke is one of several options being assessed by Arsenal. We're still considering Rodrygo should he obviously decide to leave. Arsenal do not want to pay more than 50 million euros for the signing, extra 10 million euros being requested. We're being linked with 27-year-old Ademola Lookman, people. Apparently, Arsenal are aiming to sign him for 50 million euros with some bonuses, so would likely need to go higher. Do we really want him that much? I'm not sure. Arsenal have been handed a boost in the Rodrygo kind of pursuit, I guess. Every day he's on the bench. He's leaving. Arsenal, go and buy him. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't believe this anyways, man, but it is what it is in that regards. What's this? Semenyo opted not to agitate for a move away despite Arsenal and Chelsea interest. That's because I can tell you for a fact he could have signed for Spurs. But Spurs didn't want to pay the money. Arsenal and Chelsea did actually want him. They didn't want to pay the money. that was required. You've seen him and obviously Gerard Braithwaite of Everton sign new deals. You thought they would have been on the move, but unless these things got release clauses, it's a myth. Arsenal to offload midfielder in weeks. Who? Who? Fabio Vieira. Pardon me. He's wanted by Patrick Vieira and Cesc Fabregas. Aye, Cesc Fabregas, take him. Take him, Cesc. To be fair, some of the players Cesc Fabregas is signing for Como is lit. I mean, we all know Lokonga and Fabio Vieira needs to go. They need to go play football. Apparently, Lyon have set a price tag of at least 60 million euros for Malik Fofana. Bring him. Bayern, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Fulham, Forest, Leipzig, Napoli are all in contact for the player. Lyon are hoping the interest of several clubs would drive the price up. Fair play. You also heard apparently Nottingham Forest have agreed some level of a deal. So we'll have to see how that develops. Ben Jacobs has said Arsenal view Rodrygo as the perfect fit. Real winger will hold talks with Xabi Alonso once back from the Club World Cup to clarify his future. Arsenal yet to learn if he's open to leave, but Real Madrid are prepared to sanction an exit for around 90 million euros. So what's that? 78 million euros, touching the 80s. Rodrygo viewed as the dream left wing target, but comfortable on the right wing, a position he's often been deployed at Real Madrid. Madueke is another idea on the right-hand side, but no offer made yet to the player or Chelsea. Maresca still values Madueke. He's the best you got. However, Chelsea could entertain bids of 45 plus million with add-ons on top, especially if they secure another attacker. Eze is a separate matter, unlinked to any of the above targets or positions, even though he also could be utilized as a left winger. Fair play. So that's that. Is there anything new Arsenal related? Let's go on a good old Google search, people. Let's change that to an hour. Huh? Okay, we'll look at that in a sec. Same old, if I'm honest. What's this? Let's go with this. Back on the Mascara front. What's this? Arsenal dealt Christian Mascara blow despite agreed deal. Why? How? Hey, he's eligible for Colombia and Spain. We know that. They do not wish to sell him. ESPN have reported that the club have opted to offer the Spaniard a new contract to attempt him to stay. Okay. And we're keen to do a deal for 50 million. Okay. Okay, we got done there because it sounded like he's agreed a new deal. That just says they want him to they just want him to sign a contract extension. This has said he wants to join Arsenal, according to Romano, apparently. So yeah, get it done, man. Bring the guy to the carpet, man. Enough said. Bring the guy to the carpet. But that seems to be everything at the moment. Let me scroll all the way up and see what you lot are saying, people. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't. As usual, big up yourselves, people. Let me scroll all the way up because I want to see everybody's comments, man. Scrolling. Odegaard suing Norwegian publication for releasing pictures of his house and road in England. But then again, even I know where he lives. Same road as Saka's mum and dad. Yeah, Harvey. Yeah. I mean, the Norwegian publication for kind of great crashing his wedding are scumbags, but yeah, I think he's a bit weird. Harvey, big up yourself, but you know, I wouldn't want to see what's on your laptop, mate. You know what I'm saying? We need serious backup to our first team players because over the years, the drop off from our subs has been a disgrace. Fact. What date should Arsenal fans start organising protests against the owners if they don't give Arteta what he needs? If it gets to that point, protests should be KSC out, not to sign players. I don't know, man, because on one hand, everybody's allowed to scream and shout and voice their thoughts, but really and truly, the Cronkies are not going anywhere. I don't know, man. You'd have to talk to someone else. I don't know, man. I personally think it'd be a waste of time, bro. 150 is a madness, DG. That's a heavy bag. Same, but that's what Newcastle are apparently saying. Of course, they're going to overprice him. Palace are going to overprice Eze. Declan Rice was overpriced. We're going to overprice Saka and all of these guys. It is what it is, essentially. Like, you got bread in it. Pay the bread. We saw it. What else are we saying? Please get Šeško. I'm sold on Šeško. Harvey, take a touch, man. He's getting 40 to 50k. If I'm Gyökeres, I need a lot more than that. I need to be touching 100 bags. At the very minimum, I need to be touching 100k a week. DG L'Equipe is a top outlet in France. It's not Mickey Mouse. So we're getting both. I wouldn't hold my breath, man. My worry with Gyökeres is if you watch him carefully, you realize he's playing against bums in that league. He is, but at the end of the day, like, still got to score goals. And anytime I've seen him in big games, even if he hasn't scored, He's impressed me, and I think I've seen enough of his. No man is without faults, but I think I've seen enough in his general play to think you can score goals, you can link up play, you can work the channels, you're strong, can take pens, can score free kick. Better than what we've got. I think we go for Šeško, but yeah, I don't want Šeško with his release clause. While 50 goal a year, Gyökeres wants to join. Like and subscribe, people, super chats and membership. Big up Frank, because he's actually a Liverpool fan, but he's just here. No one say I was on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Crazy slander. Crazy slander. I didn't get the memo. DG's processor working double time in this heat. To be fair, well, you lot can't see it, but there's a fan in it. Walked into DG talking about older girl. What's going on here? It weren't me. Not me. Definitely not me. I never said any of that. I wouldn't do that. This is a football stream. I wouldn't do that. Come on, man. You gotta be respectful. I wouldn't do that. Come on, man. DM me Brownings. Oh gosh, who said that? If we come second with Havetz up top, we should be invincible with a real striker. Oh man. Eze, Rice, Saka, Gyökeres, Odegaard, Rodrygo would be great. It would be, but seeing's believing. Big up United, Kai. Not your club, but you yourself and J Spurs. See, even the ops love the channel. Fuck your teams, but big up you lot, because you don't know how to pick teams, you know how to pick content creators. Big up Jerome, my guy. Eze is the kind of player we're desperate for. Gets bums off seats, great in low blocks. I'd love him, man. Big up DG. We are not signing Eze, Šeško, or Gyökeres. We will sign Madueke, though. I hope not. And even, listen, if they sign the shittest players or the best players in the world, this football club needs to make sure next season there is some level of a break. That they need to. That's why I'm not buying into this whole, if we get Šeško, sorry, people, I'm trying to find my water. Šeško needs time and all of this, and he might. I'll tell you ain't got that. Šeško might need 2 years, and on paper, you're here for longer than 2 years, but it's deliver time now. We ain't got time for the play creating. Without a doubt. Ideally, we win the Prem. Hopefully, we win the champs. I don't think people will be happy with the league or the FA Cup, but we need silverware, man. We need parades. The players need to have that little moment at Wembley and all of that kind of stuff. Tomiyasu would be like a new signing. I ain't trying to hear that, man. Eze is an upgrade on Vieira, Sterling, and can play cam. To be fair, the bar's on the floor with them two, but yeah, man. Nah, DG, I'm not imagining nothing until we actually have the player sign. Ben Jacob said Madueke is a right wing backup. Boy. But for real, where's the Zubi announcement? What happened to waiting to July, blah, blah, blah? I mean, big up Arsenal because they do great with the media work, but 167 likes. Can we get as close to 200 as possible? There's over 400 of you tuned in. The amount of work that went into that announcement vid for Kepa, I need to see a mad thing with Zubimendi. Absolute mad thing. Like, so I'll give him that. But yeah, just announce the done. Eze would be a top signing for Arsenal and would raise the level on players around him, especially Martinelli and Odegaard. And also ease the burden. Good players like to play with good players. This Madueke is not true. I don't know, man. We love hunting for Chelsea scraps. So I don't know. When Arsenal sign players, the fans always defend the signing. 9 times out of 10, when you have to defend the signing, it's a shit signing. Norgard fits that category. Doesn't make us better. I don't think in terms of individual quality it makes us better. I'm not sitting there and saying I would have signed Norgard, but it's done now. I don't think he's shit. Nah, that's just me. I'm not defending nothing. I'm just calling it as I see it. If he's crap, I'll call him crap. Question: Eze, Gyökeres, and Lookman, or Rodrygo and Šeško? Eze, Gyökeres, and Lookman, just because there's more bodies there. Just because there's more bodies there. This DG guy is criminal. He wants another goalie. Bro, you're too emotional. Okay. I want Tommy Setford to go on loan. I could be wrong. I think he needs to be out of his comfort zone. I've watched enough of him at Arsenal, enough of him when he was at Ajax, actually, because he was in the England squad. I think he's very good in terms of the modern day ball play and all that. Very good shot stopper. I'm sure there's a lot you could learn from the goalkeeping coaches, from 2 experienced keepers like Kepa and Raya. I'm sure you was in and around when Ramsdale was here. That's great. But that's all doing theory. You need to be out there learning. You need to stay in the because you're not going to play. You might get a one league cup game. You're not going to play. You're definitely not going to play. I would love to be wrong, but you're not going to play. It's great traveling with Arsenal and training and doing all of that, but there's no substitute for going out there playing where go into a club. No one don't give a monkeys if you're a talented young player with potential. We heard you're an Arsenal goalkeeper. We're in League One, either trying to fight relegation or get promoted. Can you show bravery collecting crosses from set pieces? Can you keep them out the ball at the back of the net? Can you be in that environment where it's sink or swim? People are losing jobs and all of those things. That's what that man needs. So shoot me for wanting some any 35-year-old Scott Carson guy that can just be there and allow these young players to go on loan. Shoot me. Shoot me. That is so crazy to say. And it wouldn't be an Arsenal's window if we didn't sign goalies and left backs. F it, man. Might as well commit to it now, innit? Selling Martinelli and keeping Trossard and Jesus is criminal thinking. As a matter of fact, it's straight up dumb. Eddie was too busy getting his order of Wagyu beef from the butcher. We need Eze plus a wing and a striker. Our attacking depth right now consists of Trossard as a backup for 3 or 4 positions. Yeah, trust. Because we ain't really, well, even that, we saw little hints of Martinelli through the middle, but Arteta's clearly not on that. Sterling permanent signing incoming. I mean, there's got to be a correlation with us getting Raheem Sterling and reaching our first semi-final, whatever. Like, you got to wonder, in terms of experience, what Raheem Sterling did for the likes of Wanyeri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. I would sanction that. Depression hit DG reading that. Brother, I was ready for Hine and Setford to be back up and reserve keeper. Idiot thing. So you don't know ball. Well, Carl Hine is shit. Shot that immediately. Immediately. Setford, go and play first team football. No money spent. No, money have to spend. Money have to spend. Jadon Sancho is a better footballer. That's cool. If you play Jadon Sancho, I think he's a good baller. And my heart bleeds for him. Rashford, Saka, Sterling, these lot have dealt with racism. You can be more aesthetically pleasing. You can do that. There's bare people that are more fun to watch than Salah, but they can't do what Salah does. So where are we at with that? You can be a better footballer. How are you a better footballer? Because you're more entertaining. You're not. Your valuation is not better. You ain't done what Saka's done in the game. You've done it in a bigger league. Slapped it on all the big teams he's played in the champs. Yalmao Breadin. Vinicius Breadin. Better footballer at what? Yeah, if we go play in the cage, Jadon Sancho looks like he's got a magnum in one hand and he's billing it in the other with no grinder. Great stuff. That's one thing that pisses me off about football. Too much people are interested in guys that are not pleasing. And even that, people are damn right liars. Do I think Saka's exciting to watch? Yes and no. Is he the most exciting player? No. But people move like he's not like he's not creative, like he's not fun to watch. And who cares about that? It's about being efficient. Seen plenty of footballers that can do bare skills. But there's no point if you got 10 games. The only thing you've got to say to yourself if you've done stepovers. Fuck out of here with this bullshit, man. But people can think what they think. Don't give a fuck. Better football like what? Who's got closer to their potential? If the big clubs could go forever, who's there? Who is one of the best in their position, give or take? Who knows where they're ending up in this season? Who's in limbo? And Jadon Sancho's a bloody good footballer. Don't get it mistaken. I'd have him at Arsenal. He's one of the men, but you're going mad. Fuck off with that. Tired of this. Sorry, people. DG, some of us are actually in a relationship right now. Talk for your damn self. Yeah, I'd rather be single. You're with Meaty Gallo. You're with Meaty, Fat Jones. They sort that outside the kebab. You know your friends that don't want to go home and they're chatting to their Meaty gal outside the kebab shop at 4 a.m. Tired. Moving together that look like they're in Weatherspoons and that. Tired. Boy, you're in League One. Maybe even non-league. I'm in the Premier League, Champions League. It's different. I do not want Noni for 45 mil. I can't lie, that's too steep for him. I love Eze though. Toby, you're right, man. Got a few players to offload, a few, yeah. But that's probably where, well, it's a bit of a lie, innit? Because if you go and get Rodrygo, Eze, Šeško, Gyökeres, and all the incomings, like that's your bread and butter for Berta, innit? But where we're really gonna have to see him work his magic is the offloading, innit? It's all fun and games saying sell Zinni, sell Fabio, sell this one. But whether they're on big contracts, whether they want to leave, all the other things in between, Berta's gonna have to work his magic, man. Bear wild chat. Big up TW. Even though you call it 66 seconds. Let's get the likes up. DG, you need some kind of intermission when the likes are below 50%. I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to dumb that down. Greetings, buddy. I'm a United fan. Hope you're well. Hope you're well as well. Man United Greek fan. Big up Greece if you're actually Greek. Maybe that's just your username. You never know. If you're on Twitch, make sure you're following Amazon Prime, man. Hey. You definitely are Greek because there's a lot of Greek people in Australia. Hey, whoever you lot are pushing out my channel in Australia, big up you lot. I don't know why it's the case, but big up the Aussies. And Nigeria, to be fair. I mean, they don't really comment, but statistically, I've got a lot of followers in Nigeria. I don't know how, but shout out you lot, man. Hato is the left-footed timber. We're going to find the bread. Belemba's 100 mil easy. We know how Brighton operate. We saw how much it cost for Caicedo, Cucurella. 50 million for Ben White might not be eye-catching, but bear in mind, it was one Premier League season from Ben White, and we had to pay that. Brighton know how to do this. Do you think you guys will get Gyökeres or Šeško? Hand on heart, Šeško. The prices are crazy, don't you think? Hato might be a next season signing. Defo want him, but he'd be behind Miles Lewis-Skelly, Callum and Kivior on that left-back, centre-back spot. I'm not going to lie, big up Kivior. I'm having Hato above you in both of those. You might be behind in either or, but then Calafiori's fitness goes against him. If I'm Hato, though, I could understand moving to Arsenal, half the clubs you're linked with, but you're 19 and you've captained Ajax, a big club in Ajax for one on occasion. You're 19 with over 100 career appearances. It's a World Cup here as well, where I think you'll be in the Dutch squad, but you're not a shoo-in. And you're just 19. There's no need, in theory, to make that. That move is going to happen either to the Premier League or Spain or wherever you want to go. And respectfully, I don't want to be disingenuous to Ajax. It is a big club, one of the biggest in Holland, and there's an element of pressure. We know about that. But you're allowed to develop, quote-unquote, without pressure than here. There's a lot he needs to work on. Did well in the Under-21s Championship. More when you saw it at senior level. Did they play, Spain or France? I'm not going to lie, I got terrorized in one of those games. But you expect that. So, yeah, man, it'd be interesting. Bless up, my guy. DG is a liar. He's moving to Manzar. He's in the chat. Yo, move him, man. DG going. What is... Boy, chill out, man. Bro, we have Zinchenko to a left wing. Who? Where? Can't be. Can't be. Some of the Prem's greatest players forwarded from lesser leagues. This new play mindset of looking down at players from certain leagues is crazy to me. Big up, Riley, considering most Englishmen have failed playing abroad. Hey, Junior, calm down. I don't want you to get rubbed out. DG versus 100 arties. You're like childish. Ineos Stanley Kroenke is actually worth 18 billion in 2025. These men are rich. We know that. According to stats, Madueke is better than Kudus. Well, that just tells you stats don't necessarily lie, but they don't tell the truth. And, you know, for all the stats, you got to marry that with these two. Do you think he'll be sacked or walk away if we don't win anything? I don't think he'll walk away. And I don't necessarily, let's just assume in terms of where, like, our competition places. So, second last season, right? Second, 2 semi-finals, FA Cup exit against United, or let's just say big club on penalties. If we, God forbid, but if we assume that happened at the end of the season to come, I don't think you're getting sacked. So, where does that leave us? If we sign another ish player from Chelsea, I might have to just take a year away from football. No way in hell Arteta is that dumb. Kroenke didn't buy the club to win trophies. The track record speaks for itself. 4 FA Cups in 22 years. Damn. Why is Arteta looking like a Calvin Klein model in his post? Got me thinking, mad. The bar's on the floor. I don't understand. Arsenal do this. Top teams buy players to compete with first team players to have a better squad. Arsenal buy backups for the first team, not to challenge the first team. DG, we the fans want trophies. The club only wants to get away with spending the least amount of money to get Champions League qualification. The club wants profit, not trophies. It's a business. Wish I could disagree. Subamendi learning to speak English first. How do we know he doesn't? And to be fair, there's bare Spanish speakers. What? Martin Odegaard, Merino. Yeah, it's bare. And football's universal, man. Norgard will be announced before Zubamendi. As long as Martin Zubamendi is an Arsenal player, is an Arsenal midfield player, that's good enough for me. They should do a dramatic reveal that includes Zubamendi, Rodrygo, and Gyökeres. But quick question: what unique qualities does Madueke have? I mean, I swear he was chatting to is it Ruby Rose? I allow him for that sort of stuff we need over here at the Emirates. We got Lato. It's needed. I don't want any young goalkeepers taking tips from Kepa. Okay, let's do the maths. Do I rate Kepa necessarily? No. Do I think he drops clangers? Yes. But let's scratch that and actually use our brains now. Whatever you have to say, Kepa's played for Chelsea, Real Madrid, Athletic Bilbao, played for his country, won a bunch of stuff, playing fucking Premier League football. And he's been in scenarios where he's been the first choice. He's had to compete. Are you a dickhead if you think Tommy Setford or any keeper at Arsenal can't learn from Kepa or anyone? Come on now. Let's use a bit of common sense. You guys should sell Sterling too. Too old like Man United. Arsenal the same issues offloading players. Thank the Lord, Sterling is not a permanent player. Just get Bentley as third and call it a day. Exactly. And he goes down as English. Well, homegrown because he is English. And he's another former academy lad before he went to Southend. Why don't we talk about the owners enough? Are they desperate to win? Did they pull out all the stops for us to win? They're often exempt from licks. I disagree, but we can't make them go. And at the end of the day, yeah, can we blame the Cronkies necessarily for last season? On one hand, you can, but a lot of it is just down to those in charge. Like we have to accept what they're doing. Like they put people in charge. Now it's Berta. Previously it was they doing Arteta. Last 3 years, I can't just sit here and say Cronkies are the only reason, because they can sit here and tell me, bro, I hear what you're saying, and I know what my dad's. If this is Josh Kroenke, I know what my dad's saying. But we took a chance on Arteta when he had no CV. He was Pep's coaching assistant. Gave him a job, gave him a new deal, kept faith in him when it was dark. Let him buy Benjamin White for 50 odd million. We've even got him his first choice targets. Remember, Emre wanted Zaha. What did he get? Wanted Partey. What did he get? He normally gets it. We've backed him in any player disruptions. We've brought him coaching staff. We've allowed him to buy as many goalies and left backs. We've shattered our transfer record. You can't just blame the Cronkies. There's a lot of variables that Arteta has to hold. And that's where it's a bit weird, because Arteta's either not saying you, but either absolved of all blame or blamed of everything. I was not ready for Neto to be back up. Hein shit, Neto shit. Hein is mad shit. Hein shit. Sorry. He's shit. I'm sorry, bro. He's not good. What's wrong with what is with the fruity wife beater? Why not playing white or playing back? I can't lie, boy. I don't swing that way, yeah. But you clearly like me. You're doing too much analyzing of my kind of type of woman. I don't know why you keep talking about wife beater and all of that. We don't put our hands on women, and we don't agree with them kind of jokes, if that's what you're going. But you're analyzing what men are wearing. You got onto Arteta for what you can see here, and now you're getting onto me. If you like me, just say I don't swing that way. But you're from South Africa. If you ever come to England, go to a place called Soho. You will find what you need there. I know I'm a handsome guy, but relax, man. Relax. It's all entertainment. That's my guy. But I don't know what's going on. You're analyzing man too much. I see Man United fans here. Maybe that's an avenue for you to go down, mate. Saka, Saliba, Rice, Raya, Gabriel, Odegaard, a world-class player. Huh? I'm not sure for Raya. Big him up though. Odegaard, I don't think you're world-class. Top player though. A man's getting onto the tires. I mean, boy, Dancing Bear, strictly Latin class. You see, he looks like he's right up your street. You lot, matchmaker. That's you lot. DG back in Sancho. No, I think Sancho's a good player. I just don't know why it's gone out. It's gone for him. You lot give me back. I'll give it back, It makes the time flow. Big up you lot. AFC Bell bomber. Arsenal looking to sign Mateta if Gyökeres and Šeško fails. Who is AFC Bell though? If it's not hand of Arsenal, I don't know, man. Let me guess you're left-handed, innit? I've told you I'm left-handed. Look at it. You'll actually see you next Tuesday. He can be a better footballer. Now I'm speaking in general, unknown person. Right? Being a good footballer don't mean much. If having all the technical level meant anything, Ben Arthur, who was a great player, Balotelli, there's many more. Jack Wilshere, obviously it's more down to injuries. They'd be where they need to be. Where will Wanyeri play if we get Eze, Rodrygo and Gyökeres? Bro, we'll hold down that bench until cup games. He needs to leave to save his career. Boy, serious competition. But if you're good enough, you'll have no worries. I don't want no loans. Wanyeri, if I was Arteta, Wanyeri would get significant minutes for me, regardless of all that being brought in. I hope we get Gyökeres, because him and Eze are definitely win now signings, both in their peaks. Hopefully this year we watch along some trophies. I hope so. I just can't see us signing two 27-year-olds. I can't see us getting Gyökeres and Eze. And I know 27 isn't that old, but that's just not how our club operates, specifically for that kind of money. Because, yeah, it's 5 years in that, but you know how our club operates. Like the late teens, early to mid-20s, that's what we're on spending peas on. Big up the Moroccans, man. Shout out the Nigerians once again. Nice to meet you, man. If you're authentic, Aussies will love you. Come on, big up the Aussies. Good day, mate. Do you think Mikel will be sacked or walks? Nah, neither. More likely to walk than sacked, if that's what you're asking. I think Eze will come to Arsenal. Ever since he and Saka were seen together at the F1 Spain Grand Prix, it feels inevitable. I hope so, bro. I really hope so. No way we're splashing that kind of cash. By the way, why is no one talking about Patrick Schick as a striker option? Man's got a superior goal record compared to Šeško. I can't lie. I'm not a fan of my man, I'll be real. Yo, DG, I support Sporting Lisbon. We didn't win a league title for 17 years until we got Amorim, won the title back to back, and Gyökeres was the main man. I believe he can come to Arsenal and do the same. Fabio, bring him, man. We'll be better off selling Kivior and buy Hato. Calafiori can be centre back and can fill left back when needed. I don't want Kivior to leave. The only reason Kivior would depart Arsenal if I was in charge is if he says, listen, I've tried a thing. I can't play here. I want to go and play more first team football. If not, I want to see you hang around like a bad smell. I know we you know, you can't have a massive squad, quote unquote, and people are going to get upset, but we never have that. We never have the reality of man are upset about not playing. We're always just down to our bare bones. And I don't want that to be the thing. I'll take Harvey Elliott rather than Norgard. Two very different sorts of players. Feel sorry for Harvey Elliott. You know, it's just a club like Liverpool. It's difficult to get minutes in it. No title in 21 years. Let that sink in. Do you think Arteta will play with a back three at the back this season? I mean, we do it in game. I wouldn't be against it. I want to see new stuff, man. Arteta won't be sacked. He makes the club money, and 65% of the fan base love him. The fans sacked Wenger. The board would have never sacked him if the fans didn't turn. The fans are the problem. Big up Melbourne. Flipping hell, man. I must have billboards in Australia. Big up the Aussies, man. Australia's become my favourite. It used to be Canada. Havertz did something with Arteta. He misses so many chances and he's worse than Marino up front. Bro, if them men are our strikers, and statistically, excluding Saka, Havertz has been one of our top goal scorers. I can't get Havertz no more because you didn't buy yourself. You didn't buy yourself with a fee. You didn't buy yourself on big money. I've never thought you're a clinical man. You have been scoring goals, but if we're relying on Kai to score goals, it's silliness, innit? It's incompetence. It's naive. Incompetence is not even the right word. It's naive. And if we want to be a team that just gets top four, we've got enough. Players go through purple patches and all these things and all the stuff we've spoken about. If we want to get to the next level, you need to know you need more answers to the questions we're seeking. I'm not vexed about the Kepa disrespect, but it's like, let's just stop being stupid, bro. Like, he's a, like, you beat, do you know how stupid, do you know, I'm part of my language, and boy knows we banter. You're actually very stupid if you think Tommy Setford or any young goalkeeper couldn't learn from Kepa. And half of the keepers we think are rubbed. Even Onana at United, he probably learned from Onana what not to do. But he's played for Inter, playing for Man United, you know, all them kind of things. There's stuff to learn, bro. It's professional football at the end of the day. Yeah, Arsenal fans do that. They do the overkill. Is Gyökeres really going Madrid? I doubt it, because you did hit, but to be fair, you did hear Real Madrid were in the market for another striker. Obviously, they got that Garcia lad who's doing all right. It looks like he'll plug that gap. DG, would you take Ndiaye from Everton? Decent player. In theory, yeah, but I don't think we should be going down that route. Kepa went to Chelsea for 72 million. That is crazy. I only realised that a few days ago. Imagine. Subscribe and like if you haven't already. Stop blaming the owner. Stop blaming the manager. They only do what the fans allow them to get away with. There's no football club without the fans. Until Arsenal fans grow a pair, we'll never win. But man got timed out for talking rubbish. Hey, what? Mods can't time out mods. Hey, listen. Be serious. Be serious. Do you think the biggest problem is the lack of communication between the board? I can't, whether it's good or not, I very much doubt the board don't have communication. Board owners and fans, we are left to guess. Yeah, but to be fair, rightly or wrongly, we should be left to guess. We're fans in it. We're not in the club like that. We are the heartbeat of the club, but we're not making no decisions. Was it a PSR problem last summer? I don't. Was it KSC not releasing the funds, board incompetence? I think it's a bit of everything. I think the limited budget you had, you spunked it. I do think after the spending we've been doing, the more money's been given, and I think the Cronkies have said, "Listen, we need a bit more." I do think. Don't get it twisted, yeah. I like Berta. I like his reputation. I like everything. I hope he does stuff. In Berta, we trust all that stuff. But he comes from a career in banking, you know, and he's shown he can get shrewd deals and streamline finances. That's probably the only reason the Cronkies want him, bro. Nah, I'm not vexed, man. I'm just speaking with passion, man. Over 50 now, not that far, man. Probably like 35, 14, 45. Yeah, boy needs to go Soho, man. Big up, listen, I don't know why you're driving. Like, you keep saying bookie stuff. Big up you for driving past the gay bar. Big up the gays. We're all inclusive here. Big up, boy, man. Big up, boy, man. Now I see why he gets he's getting emotional over Kepa. DG likes Alex Scott. Very good player for us. Oh, man. Can't wear a vest. It's all bants. It's all bad. But at least I'm here, though. Half of you are hiding behind the screen. Half of you are fat. Some of you are both. I'm an idiot, man. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me, man. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Big up yourself, Fabio Fabulous, man. I wouldn't listen. I'm on that. Have you seen the Hand of Arsenal stuff about Raya and Real Madrid? Send the link. Has that come out now? Really? Let's have a look, man. Real Madrid. I mean, listen, it's an honor. I guess it's got to be an honor for be an honor for any player to be linked with Real Madrid, really and truly. Like even Miles Lewis Kelly, it's an absolute honor, really, because it shows you're doing something good. But I can't see that happening anytime soon. And he is Spanish, and we do hear away from just Raya and Arsenal. Apparently, it's lost trail of thought now. Apparently, Real Madrid want some more Spanish players or a more Spanish core. Certain influential individuals within the chamber of Real Madrid wanted David Raya. Remember, some fans didn't want Raya because we had Ramsdale. Certain man can't concentrate. Certain man are wanted by Real Madrid. They contracted intermediaries to assess the situation and were informed. Pardon me, the Arsenal number one is very happy at Arsenal. His relationship with Inaki Kanya is pivotal to his success. Had we have got Joan Garcia, because I just think in general, at some point, David Raya and Garcia, a decision would have to be made. That would have been another Leno versus Ramsdale, Leno versus Martinez. And, you know, it's not the same, but Courtois versus Czech. One of them kind of things. Liverpool probably going to have that with the keeper. They signed at Valencia and Alisson at some point. So had we have had him, I think maybe, but it's not happening now, innit? But yeah, shout out to David Raya. You're doing all right. David Raya. Arsenal are aiming to close a deal for Mosquera at around 15 million euros, potentially plus add-ons, whereas Valencia are looking for a fee in the region of 20 million euros. Negotiations ongoing and a second bid is expected. The player has agreed full personal terms. I mean, Hand of Arsenal is someone that I'm going to, choose to trust. Saka is a beast. Where's the announcement? Wish I knew. I don't rate Schick either, but the fact he has a better record than Šeško is scary and spooky. Better yet, yeah, you're right. Ikatike and Guirassy over Šeško. I hear the Ikatike one's over Šeško. I'm not on Guirassy. I don't want Guirassy. Kivior is too good, not worth the money. Hato is better. Vieira has to return to Arsenal. Boniface over Šeško. I'm not involved, man. I'm not involved. Saka and Eze have a close friendship. They can have a close friendship, but yeah, man, we need to get things done. I find it strange that Arteta's talent ID for attacking players is so bad, considering he was quite an attacking-minded player himself. He loves left-back and backup keepers, though. It's 12 a.m. Big up you lot, man. Arteta won't be sacked because no manager will be held to win a Premier League. It's not how to run a club. His floor can't be other managers' ceiling. It might not be how to run a club, but clearly he's done well. He's got us back being competitive. And at some point, there has to be a conversation about getting over the line. It's not Arteta FC. In the same way, we as good as Ramsdale was, quote unquote, we upgraded with Raya. We all love Tierney. Zinchenko came in. It became evidently clear that, cool, we want to do this inverted stuff, but we also need to be able to defend. There's been upgrades there. That has to be extended to Arteta. I'm not saying you, but too much people are committed to hating Arteta. Too much people are committed to loving Arteta, and they need to be centralists. At some point, we're going to have, and I hope Arteta gets over the line, but at some point, we're going to have to try things. And unfortunately, the nature of the business, it falls on the manager. At some point, Edu's gone, this one's gone, that one's gone. You can't tell me that's not his squad. And if he didn't, and you can't, how far does it go blaming the Cronkies? Because I'm not defending them, but on one hand, cool. Arteta could be forgiven for his ignorance if he thought the Cronkies were winners and they lied to him in his first interview when he signed for the club. But you've loved what you're doing here so much, you've signed a new contract. So that tells me, regardless of what other clubs are doing, you believe you can get Arsenal to where it needs to go within that context. Same actually is extended to Bell. And you've been given 50 mil a year. And obviously, let's not act dumb. People are governed by their own self-interest in life. Mikel Arteta's job, away from the obvious and just stripping the romance away from Arsenal, is to fulfill his managerial potential. The man has a sweet gig at this football club. For someone that had no managerial experience, to be given the power and everything he's done, and it's been backed up to a point, you're doing your thing. Berta wanted to move to the Premier League anyways. He's got that. For the Cronkies, you've got a manager that's getting you second, getting you Champions League football. Bro, it's a relationship of convenience. Let's stop the kumbaya crap, man. Kai is an extreme scapegoat for no reason. Have the Aussie... Bro, fuck young Philly, man. We don't condone what that man there did, man. He's got nothing to do with what we're doing, man. Fuck that man there. DG Havertz scored 9 goals, big him up levels. He helped us push the gap to Liverpool majorly last season, man. Like Kai. I can't blame Kai. Do I think Kai's the answer? Do I think we should have bought him? I prefer him up front than in midfield, but at the end of the day, he's here. It's more damning on the club than Kai Havertz. You, man, have assembled this squad. So when I see things that I'm positive about, when there's evident cracks to get to the next level, oof. Imagine Raya got injured and we only got set for the net. Wenger, as brilliant as he was at the end, he was too forgiving to certain players. You lost your head for second and Champions League finals. The end of his time, Wenger in the job would bury you. Yeah, Wenger did start moving mad, man. And even that, when people do sit here, I'm not saying they're wrong necessarily, and they say, oh, no, there's no one we can get apart from Mikel Arteta. Imagine we have a season where we finish second again, right? God forbid. And let's just say Arteta feels like he's done all he can. But, you know, we're second. Players have been brought in. There's something to build upon. Let's just say he says, I want to leave. I want to go elsewhere. Where do we go then? Because you're telling me nobody, and I'm not even saying Arteta needs to be sacked, but you're telling me nobody can do this job. He's the only one. What if he walks away? Then what? We're going to cry? Or we're going to beg him to stay? Like Gallagher. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. See how no one moans about Marino anymore. The same will happen to Norgard when you actually watch him play and what he offers. The problem is people just want sexy signings. I'm not saying I would have bought Norgard. I'm not saying you can't have concerns, but, you know, we're frustrated from last summer, frustrated in January, frustrated over the Premier League title challenge. So when you're seeing anything that isn't an Eze, a Gyökeres, I wouldn't even say Šeško, but Gyökeres because of the goals, Eze because of what he is, Rodrygo and all of them kind of ones, it's all mad. So yeah, man. The thing about Šeško is I get he doesn't have a great goal record right now, but neither did Henry before reaching Arsenal. So yeah, risk, but I'm hoping the people who scout knew their stuff. 4 FA Cups in 22 years is cronky ownership. Winning's not the business. They don't want to win. They'd like to win. Winning's not everything. And I can see like their basketball fans are getting a bit vexed at them. Come on, chat, hit their likes. Come on. I big up Jalen. I was at Brentford's first Prem game and dude can play. He makes things uncomfortable for the opposition and very good feet. I mean, the thing with me, with Norgard, away from the obvious, obviously I'm not expecting you to be Santi Cazorla or Jorginho, but I know what I'm getting. Obviously I'm getting experienced man, leadership qualities, can do a thing from set pieces, can do all the dirty and the ugly work in midfield. But 9 times, and there's obviously going to come games for that. And, you know, you allow us to maybe, if not necessarily rest Declan Rice, you know, little 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. I want to see what you've got on the ball about you. I'm not expecting you to be Cesc Fabregas and whatnot, just because the vast majority of games, we're going to be dominating in it. So that's what I want to see from you, if that makes sense. It's all entertainment, man. We banter here, man. We banter here. DG, how highly do you rate Havertz? How highly do you rate Havertz? Not that highly. But I do think he's scapegoated. I think with Havertz, I don't think he should have been bought. I don't think he should have been bought for the money. I think it's an L. I think Arteta failed with playing him in midfield and he went up front. That being said, I do think Havertz has some qualities I like. He's definitely not my cup of tea on the ball. But when I just accept that we're at where we're at with the guy, I do think he's got good, and he's clearly a shit finisher. I'll get onto that. I do think he understands what Arteta wants. I do think he's a fighter. I do think he's versatile. I do think he pulls his... we all know we need attackers, right? I do think he pulls his weight a lot more than a lot of our attackers, bar Bukayo Saka. Last season, he was out for however long. He was the second top goal scorer in the Premier League with Saka for us. The year before that, second half of the season, he done his thing. That's why I always say it's damning on the club that I'm saying this about Kai Havertz, not necessarily him, because if we're trying to win leagues and a man that can't be described as clinical is one of your biggest top goal scorers, you're not serious. You're not serious. We're at with him. It wouldn't surprise me if we sign a striker from the Russian league on deadline day out of nowhere. I mean, if there's a good little striker in the Russian league, bring them in it. I think we should terminate Jesus' contract and sign Ollie Watkins. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Arteta leaves players to rot on the bench, hence reducing their value in the window. Gibbs White and Eze in the same team be so good. Gibbs White cost an arm and a leg, though. When is preseason starting? Surely everybody's back this week if they're not there already. And you could argue for some it started already. You've seen Miles Lewis-Skelly doing his own little training stuff. Rice the same. I think a bunch of our players have been over there in Spain as well. So yeah, man, it's time to get going. Look at my fan base. They already put mascara in an Arsenal key. You know how Arsenal fans are. Indirectly, the Cronkies can be blamed for everything because you're the business owner. But come on, really and truly, are the Cronkies the only reason we haven't won the league in the last 3 years? There's blame that needs to be attributed everywhere. You can't just fully blame the Kroenkes. You can't just fully blame Arteta. You can't just fully blame the players. Of course, you can say at the end of the day, it's the manager's job to win games. I get that. Cool. If that's what you're saying, cool. Kind of what I just said about the owner. DG, you can't refuse 13 mil, surely. Who? For me, this summer, that will tell us the truth about the owners. If they don't give Arteta the players he's asking for, we can forget success while they are in. We'll be supporting them. They're not going anywhere. Big up Matt for the raid. Big up Views on Sport as well, man. Who are the best managers in the world? Who are the best managers in the world of football? Top 5. Don't know how Mikel Arteta got 15 mil. Pep's up there. Big up Matty for the raid, man. Need to get him back on the platform, man. Missed speaking to him, man. Real football knowledge done. So yeah, man. What else have we got? Got to fold the club, I guess. Less said that. Less said that. Big up Matty on the raid and everyone that's joined in. DJ, I'm going for rest. Take care, my friend. You have a great day, mate. Yeah, like Arteta failed upwards. We shouldn't have bought Havetz. Should not have bought Havetz. Chelsea did not rob us for Havetz. We robbed ourselves. Couldn't believe it. People just need to relax and stop watching other people live, man. People follow up people all the time. DJ, are you doing any collabs with Sammy, Shirley, or Jess over the summer? Jess, 100%. You lot go and spam Sammy. Get on Sammy, man. She's been busy. When Sammy's ready, we'll get her here, man. You lot go ask her for that, man. I can't ask her anymore. Shirley, she's always welcome. Shirley's busy, man. People busy. When the season gets on, we'll see, man. He's saying you want me be mature. Let me be mature. But yeah, man. Get that going. Get that going. Berta should be in charge of transfers. Arteta is on his way out. If no trophy is won again, this delay might be an internal struggle. I very much doubt that. Signing Norgard and Kepa is the same as Havertz. They're not good enough for Arsenal. Don't matter how much we spend, they're not good enough. That's it. We just need to sign game changers. If they're part of the squad, it's calm. Are we recalling Nelson for Saka back up? I'd imagine Nelson for his own sake. He's got to go, man. You got to go and be. You got to go and settle roots, man. Somewhere where you're going to be at for a couple of years. We had the third highest goals in the league last year. So what's the issue, really? I mean, that we've been saying that for the last couple of years. Fair enough. DG, what do you do if we win the league as I predicted? Well, first thing, I'm going to the parade. I'm happy as Larry. The trophy, well, the Premier League drought over 20 odd years is over, and I'm a happy lad. And you're right, dancing. That's the only thing. If there's no bums on seats, that's kind of what was happening towards the end of Wenger. That's what got Emre the sack. That's how the only reason Arteta would get them. Nobody can blame the Kroenkes. I'm not their biggest fan. Arteta has been backed with signings by them. Kai, Timber, White, Callot, William. Come on, let's not lie. I think Nelson is good backup. He's shown he can come on and score last minute goals. Yeah, Nelson. Not the worst player, but it's time now, man. It's time. It's time. Treble next season. We can hope and pray and hope, innit? But I don't know, man. Treble now. Let's just focus on bringing home a trophy, innit? Baby steps. Baby steps, guys and girls, man. Baby steps, man. The fans are the only problem. Come on. Can't blame us fans. Come on. Everyone's allowed their opinion. You can't blame the fans. We don't change anything. To a degree, we can scream, shout, shake it all about. You can't change much. The only way the fans can impact stuff is if they stop, renewing season tickets, stop buying shirts, stop doing all of that. But we all know football's a twang. What Walton apologies would be great. Yeah, we're not a crap team, but the devil's in the details. There's also statistics that show us we need to improve. We can talk about defensive statistics. How many goals have we conceded from set pieces? How many goals have we conceded from certain areas of the pitch? How many big chance miss? Who is actually scoring the goals? When are the goals coming? So again, the devil's in the details. We've got a good base. We just need to be proactive and go from being a good team, beat up City every now and again, beat Real Madrid, great against the top six, finish in second, to being a great team. And let's just maximize everything internally. Let's bring the level raises in. Let's have the depth. Physios, I guess there's something for you lot to review in terms of players rehab. Arteta, let's evolve things tactically, be a bit more unpredictable in the game warrants, and just put our best foot forward and try and salvage the present, man, because my biggest fear is the last 3 years, we've had a golden opportunity and we ain't done nothing with it. Arsenal nowhere near winning the league. It's not really true, is it? Statistically, it's actually not really true. Looks like Arsenal actually want to build a squad and not leave Arteta and the players short. I hope so. Will the World Cup affect players' performances? Nobody wants to get injured ahead of the World Cup. Will they turn it down a notch? We may see more rotations. You can't have that mentality, though, because you've got to deal with what's in front of you. I guess there's an element of that, but I don't think so. We need to win, point blank, because we don't win stuff. I hear it. Balemba or Walton, which one would you pick? With Partey's exit, Balemba would, I more want one of them ones. So I'd say Balemba, but I've got time for Walton, man. I'm exaggerating a bit, but he's like an English-Spanish midfielder. He's very gracious. Should have got him when he was at Blackburn, because then now you see what's required to grab him. To be honest, I don't think anyone will care if Odegaard is benched. If Eze comes in and scores, no one will care. It goes the same with Odegaard as well. Everyone just lift up what they need to lift up. Everyone just raise their game. Havetz signing is our Achilles heel. The coach won't hold his hands up and say he was wrong, and that's going to be bugging us for a long time. He's going to have to hold that one. Big up into the box. He's going to have to hold that. Jordan, one love. Big up DG, enough love, bro. Very well spoken and always have fascinating insights in and around Arsenal. God bless. Big praise. I don't agree, but if you're saying that, I must be doing something right. I'm sure you lot are getting bored of hearing me speak on that, people. We've been here for close to 2 hours. So, yeah, man, the transfer news part of this, I'll clip it up. Obviously, turn on your notification bells and all that stuff. I've got some videos coming out. I think this video will take you to a hyperlink. If you haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you're doing that. If you have, appreciate you making the algorithm go crazy. Follow me on all the socials, Deluded Gooner typically, especially TikTok. And if you don't mind, at the end of the video, not in the live chat, leave a comment. It helps the algorithm. Happy new July, new month. Happy July. Big up you lot. And we're out, people. Safe.